The Economic War Room is brought to you today from CPAC in Dallas, Texas. We've got some of the most brilliant conservative minds in the country right here in my own neighborhood. It's a pleasure to meet with so many great people, and the first up that I'm bringing you today is one you know very well from the Economic War Room. It's Frank Gaffney. He's a dear friend, he's a mentor, he's taught me so much about national security, but also about politics in general. He's one of the first calls I make when I say, hey Frank, what about this? And we brought you back, and you've got your book, our book actually, the CCP at War with America. Tell us about what's going on.
Well, we're watching, as we speak, the manifestations of the war that the Chinese Communist Party has in mind, I think not just for Taiwan, but for the rest of us as well, playing out in real time. Nancy Pelosi made a visit that became the pretext for them to put into place a blockade of Taiwan, and I think that they will be moving the escalation ladder, as they say, placement up and up and up. We saw in the course of just today, as a matter of fact, ballistic missiles overflying the island, and that's a high pucker factor. If you're watching incoming ballistic missiles on a trajectory to take them to your country, you have to be pretty good to make sure that they're high enough and they're not going to be vectored in mid-flight down to attack you. So the Chinese are, I think, not only at war with America, but they're increasingly now prepared to make that a kinetic war. And Kevin, you talk about me teaching you things. I've learned an enormous amount from you too, of course, not least about the unrestricted warfare of China. And so when I say they're now moving into the kinetic phase, that's because they've essentially moved through the rest of their playbook.
Yeah, it's
Take
a
us
scary
down.
time. It really is. And in fact, Frank, you were the person on the CPAC stage who actually, I think, was first to ever utter the words unrestricted warfare. I watched it and was screaming at the television like, yay! You were brought out after having been kicked out of CPAC for a period. You were brought back and you shared that. How can any honest American politician deny that the Chinese Communist Party is at war with us?
I think that what we have, Kevin, is not so much people who can deny it on the basis of an honest appraisal, as much as it is that we've got a large cohort of people among our elites, and by that I mean the leadership figures in a whole host of areas, from academia to the media to Hollywood to the business sector, the financial community, our politicians, among others, are essentially compromised. And we've talked about this a lot over the years, starting the fish rotting from the head, as they say, with the commander-in-chief himself, Joe Biden. And when you're compromised, one of the things that generally flows from that is you don't say things that the people who compromised you would find unhelpful. So there is a leadership void, and I think with your wonderful Economic War Room program and our Securing America and others of those here, we're trying to fill that void